Of 2026 between the East Coast Swans and the Evandale Eagles in round 2 of season 2026 of the NTFA Division 2 Mazda BT50 senior men's competition, and it is the 10th anniversary of the game at Pyengana. Joining me in the commentary position today down here at the beautiful surrounds of Pyengana is Darrin Geared. Welcome, Darrin.
Thanks, Xavier. Great to be here.
Yeah, looking forward to it. And have you been here previously?
The last 2 years, so a couple of really cracking contests. Campbelltown were here last year. Whilst the weather is great now, it does tend to cool off late. I can tell you that from experience.
All right, well, we'll remember that for a little bit later on, but we'll get ourselves through to half-time while the sun is shining. Just introducing what we've had on previously, just prior to our live stream today, is that we have Bendigo Bank. Our Bendigo Bank team have been filtering everybody into the ground. We've got, I'd say, 2,500 to 3,000 people here at the ground. We've got many people camping, cars around the ground. We've got a spit going on. We've got the old boxing tent up at the moment. We have had plenty on in and around the recreation ground throughout the course of today's proceedings. We had the reserves play a little bit earlier on, and Darrin, with regards to that, did Evandale get up, the Eagles, or did the Swans? No,
Swans got up. I think Evandale sort of struggled with a few injuries late, so a positive start there for the Swans for the day. And on the event down here, the last few years, like, it's a really carnival event. I know a lot of people from the community come and camp here, so it's a fantastic event for the Pyengana area.
Certainly is. And then today, the East Coast Swans are representing the Fingal Football Club. We'll talk a little bit more about that as we get proceedings underway. Into the ruck, and the Eagles win the tap there. Ball comes down. They go to release. It comes out to East Coast Swans through the services of Tabolt. And the kick goes out of bounds inside the forward 50. Joining us today, we're very fortunate to have, as part of the umpiring fraternity, Darrin, Ray Razor Chamberlain, along with Mitch Lefevre, former AFL umpire as well, boundary umpire, along with Michael Simmons, today's goal umpire, in his 700th and final game. 700 games.
Yes, it's a significant contribution. And with Mitch Lefevre, so Mitch is actually a local from the area, both of them, Mitch and Michael. Michael from St Helens previously. So, yeah, returning to I suppose, their community.
Ball back inside the forward 50, been released. Evandale still back after the football. It comes to the number 7, that's Bushing back inside forward 50, and a good mark has been taken there by the East Coast Swans in those beautiful navy blue attire Fingal Football Club Guernseys, which they've brought out through Faulkner. Tuck. Kick doesn't hit its mark, which was Haley, the captain. Ball to ground. Trying to pick it up now is Bannister. Comes back out the Tuck. Tuck gives it by hand. They go long to centre wing position. Bounces over the top of Mason. They dive back in on top of the football. Is anyone able to get it out? Not just yet. Oh, that's a great pick-up. Bannister, class. One of the recruits of the Swans this year. Goes towards the top of the goal square. No one able to take the mark. And a free kick has been given away according to Ray Chamberlain. And it's going to go the way of the Eagles in defence, I think.
No, it's...
Oh, actually, no, it does. It goes to number 26, Mr. McCarroll. So Mr. McCarroll will be having a shot on goal. Yeah. Do you know much, Darrin, about the service of Liam McCarroll to the East Coast Swans?
Liam McCarroll, I think, similar to Dakota Bannister and Jordan Cousins, is a Rochalee product, I think. So, transferring down this year.
And McCarroll gets the first one on the board. So well done to Liam McCarroll and the East Coast Swans. They go out to one straight. And the Evandale Football Club, the Eagles, yet to score. We have played around about 2.5 minutes into the first quarter. Good passage of play there, in particular through the service of Bannister.
Bannister, a big bull. Years of experience, played at TSL level at North Launceston, premiership player there, and as I say, premiership player at Rochalee last year.
Ball back into the middle. No one able to cleanly get an effective tap. That was the captain. Haley's taken without it, and he's going to receive the free kick. Goes short, straight up the centre. Target is Mason. Clean hands. That's a good kick. Great lead. Michael Murfitt. And similar angle to McCarroll. Darrin, about another 10 metres out.
Yes, yeah. And Michael Murphy played here for a number of years now, so significant contributor to the footy club down here. I think he's even got his young fellas actually playing down here with him this year as well.
You might hear in the background in a minute a familiar voice. And that's Michael Murphy's first, and they go out.
You got it on.
And that is Razor Ray Chamberlain, ladies and gentlemen. You will hear him throughout the course of today's proceedings, giving the all clear there. He got it home. And he is mic'd up for today's proceedings, so looking forward to seeing what he's going to be doing. We heard a little bit earlier on, Darrin, he's got a few issues with the back, so he won't be bouncing the football.
Yeah, so I'm probably glad that I didn't pack my umpiring gear today. I didn't want to jump out there to look after him.
PG.
Indeed. Also joining us in the commentary position is Stephen Wally. Welcome, Stephen.
Oh, thanks, Xavier. What a day. What a day. Just look at it out there.
Certainly is. Tepper for the Eagles. Kicks across his shoulder, gets towards the 50-metre arc. They're unable to be clean, the Eagles. Oh, that's a good pick-up. Throws it onto the boot. Inside forward 50.
Still, mate.
Releasing there was Damon Howe for the
Masu.
East Coast Swans. About to call them the Fingal Football Club. Can we do that throughout the course of today, Steve?
I imagine we'll mix it up a bit.
We can throw a bit of a throwback. Eagles, though, they're now in charge of the football. So it goes to Brown, Tyler, centre wing position. So he's at the dairy side of the ground. Kicks down the line. No one able to take the mark. Getting his hands there was Talbot. Ball got knocked away. Ricochets, goes across the boundary line. And is it a free kick?
No, so it obviously has to be similar to the AFL rules. It has to be a handball or a kick out. So if it's a last touch off a contest, it'll be a ball in between the arcs.
So boundary throw in. Front position there went to Stoltenberg. And they clear by hands now. Swans, Fingal Football Club. Looking for Mason. Wrapped up in a tackle, ball to ground. A great tackle there being applied by Fingal through Sam Talbot. He's got the headband down on.
It's a bit of a fact there. We've got Sam Talbot and Jordan Talbot playing against each other today.
So they're brothers?
They're brothers.
Yep. Right. Yep. Fantastic. Bit of sibling rivalry. Ball to centre half back for the Eagles. Now they're going to transfer the ball wide. This is good ball movement so far. It's in the hands of Jordan Talbot. And 50. Did he not stand the mark, Darrin?
No. So I think the player that was told to stand basically rolled forward. So, 50-metre penalty there.
So they're in range, but he decides to play on. Does Talbot? Goes wide, and the kick stays wide. And it's towards the right-hand side, and that is the first minor score. That goes to Mr. Talbot, Jordan. And that's the first score for the Eagles. So it's one behind plays the East Coast Swans, 2 goals straight. Ball back into the centre. It's now into the hands of Weldon. They play on quickly. They go wide, looking for Mason. Ball runs out of bounds in front of him. Free kick will go to the Eagles, number 29. So that's Elliot Lockhart. In towards the centre.
Elliot's their captain as well, I think. So
unable to take the mark, but they clear. They do so through Tepper. Raking left foot. Inside the forward 50 now for the Eagles, and it rolls out of bounds. We'll get a boundary throw in. Stephen, I notice there's a big spit on. What's the spit today?
Oh, we've got a bit of both pork and lamb tonight. Players come off the ground very hungry after after a significant sweating out there, and love to partake of pork and lamb rolls at the end of the game.
Former North Launceston player Zach Burt now with the ball in hand. His kick though, he goes through for one behind. So Zach Burt gets the second of the Eagles score. And I didn't quite see as to why he got the free kick. Yeah, but
I think it may have been passed as a lasso free kick, so I wasn't quite sure whether it was inside or outside the arc, so it must have been just outside the arc.
They play on, giving the handball was Weldon. Kick towards the centre of the ground. It's ricocheted there by the Eagles. They go back inside forward 50, and a mark, I think, has been taken The man in the long sleeves, that's Jackson Davey, yeah. So Davey looks like he's going to be a formidable target for the Eagles up front, Darrin.
Yeah, certainly is. He's sort of presented up a couple of times already and at least given a contest. So if he's not marking it, the ball's coming to ground.
What about the wind here, Steve? Bit of left to right?
Not a lot happening out there at the moment.
So let's see if he's got his radar on. Unfortunately, he's missed the target completely, and he kicks it to the near side, and it's out of bounds on the full. So
it's probably almost Evandale's probably had the most of the inside 50s at the moment, but really haven't been able to capitalise.
Indeed, I totally agree with that. So knew it now, kicks the ball out, up to Blunt, the vice captain. He's a strapping young lad, Steve.
Oh, just one of our fantastic young locals. There's several Blunts that have played footy, two of them out there, two brothers out there at the present time, and Jaden is just getting better year by year.
Weldon to Stoltenberg. Stoltenberg, the Chrome Dome, kicks it towards half forward. Free kick is being given away, and Blunt will be the recipient. Razor Ray Chamberlain in charge. You might hear him in a moment. A release by hand, out to Stoltenberg.
Play on! Me.
That's right.
The 50. Pump.
Weldon plays on.
Touch ball, you touch!
Touch ball there, played on. And they get the goal. And that came through, Darrin.
I'll struggle to pick that player up.
We'll come back hopefully to the replay in a moment. Stevie, did you pick that up?
I'm just looking now. Snapped it on the left.
Yeah.
Very handy kick.
And we're just going to look at the replay here. We heard Ray just before. A kick inside forward 50.
Oh, Jordan Cousins.
Jordan Cousins, number 9. So Jordan Cousins gets the third. And the straight shooters, Darrin Geard, 3 straight 18 to 2 behinds.
And Cousins, certainly a prolific footballer in the NTFA over a number of years with Rochalee, and has represented the state as well.
Good clear there for the Fingal Football Club, but a good mark being taken across centre half back by Callow. Callow goes wide. Kick though. Wasn't quite to the favour of Loon, but he was good enough. And Will's back around. His kick's a bit of a grubber. Great take, Hutton. Turns him board. And that's a super kick. Oh, unable to take the mark was Tepper. Ball to ground. And we're going to get a ball up.
Not sure what you guys do here, but I'm going back to boundary.
There's Ray Chamberlain. Inside the forward 50 for the Eagles. Cleared. In the hands of Harrison. Kick though, drops a dolly. That was Anderson, Saxon, and away go the Fingal. Musica, great kick, just to the advantage of his teammate. That's one of our big fellas. I think there might be McCarroll. Yeah, first goal scorer of the game. Look at that clearance. Beautiful.
Drop mark, that error there just hurt, didn't it? Really, all of a sudden, East Coast were able to pounce on the footy and transition it forward.
So McCarroll for his second, makes no mistake. Great start for the Swans, Fingal Football Club. 4 goals straight, 24. The Evandale Football Club, the Eagles, are 2 behind, so 22 points to the margin. Musica from South Launceston and Launceston, if I remember correctly.
Yes, yeah, and had a couple of years down there, I think, Reg, wasn't it?
Had 2 years with us previously. Played in 2018 Premiership side. Fantastic person, Muzz. We know his talent out on the ground, but wow, he's a great person with our young fellas coming through as well. His
attack
on the footy is probably as ferocious as I've ever seen from a player.
You're going to be kind to me. Same haircut. Play on.
Stoltenberg gets the ball away from Razor Ray's ball up. No one able to clear. Then Stoltenberg follows up. Good attack on the football. That's Musica again. Yeah. Actually, he looks in better nick, to be honest with you, than what he was when he was up north.
He's probably had a couple of years away, Muzz, so, and I think an opportunity to get his body right.
Has done incredible work in the gym to get his recovery on his shoulder happening, but incredibly fit.
Oh, what a turn.
Tepper.
Just ducked in underneath. That's excellent work by Tepper. Left foot down towards centre half forward. They're able to receive the football. It goes into the hands of Linford. He turns around, wheels inside. It's to the advantage of his teammate. Oh, good Shepherd. He goes to get his hands on the footy, but he can't quite get there. That was Jordan Talbot, and it goes through for another behind. This time it's a rush behind. So it's 3 behinds, plays 4 straight. Fingal Football Club, East Coast Swans, currently lead, kicking to the left of screen. Good work there by Tepper and company.
Oh, yeah, a very classy footballer, Jordan Tepper. He's won best and fairest, association best and fairest in the past at senior level. So
into the hands now, grandstand side of the ground. That is Davey. Davey's kick though misses the mark. They're able to clear. Oh, didn't get his head taken off, but they've lost possession of the football. It's inside forward 50 for Fingal Football Club. Getting his hands and boot to it was Murfitt off the ground. And right on the last line of defence is Mr. Tepper. Right knee, heavily bandaged, headgear on. He goes out wide. It's cut off there by
Ty Blunt.
Yep.
Ty Blunt, was it? And we'll come back to that.
McCarroll again.
McCarroll will be shooting for goal. Hit up McCarroll. So this will be going for his 3rd. He's had a great start to the quarter. What's his nickname, Reg?
Oh,
Plugger?
don't know.
Will be if he kicks this. Across the face, not quite. And it goes over the boundary line from the contest.
So I'd be watching Michael Musica around a stoppage here.
So boundary throw in. Let's look for that ball there to Musica. There he is. Right on cue. Ball comes out from the tackle to Talbot across the body. Unfortunately, stays to the near side.
I've seen that many times in the past around a forward stoppage where Michael Musica hits it at full pace.
Yep.
So kick in now by the Eagles. They're taking their time, being quite deliberate. Been called to play on.
East Coast had pressed up.
Oh, that's a great mark.
Mark, stand, punt.
Berry.
Yep.
Still mate.
Reminds me of Anderson that's come from the Santa Fe to the Collingwood Football Club. His kick goes to centre forward. They're going to release here. Tapping it forward was Blunt, the vice-captain. It doesn't go to the advantage of a teammate. Ducking his head when one of the Eagles players is going to try a chain of handballs. All they're doing is creating some confusion amongst themselves. Is that holding the football?
High, I think, the initial
Blunt.
contact. So.
And free kick. Number 16, I think it is, Mr. Linford. Is that right?
Yep.
So, gives it by hand. Over to Tepper, Jordan. Kick's not marked. Should have taken. Talbot gets the handball back to Tepper. Good fend off. Back to Talbot. Across the body, inside forward 50. No one able to take the mark. Straight through the hands of Newitt. Free kick according to the umpire. Who's it going to? Newitt, is it?
Isaac Newitt.
Yeah, so Newitt. Waste no time. Goes to the space and puts it in front of his teammate.
Ethan Goldfinch, yep.
So Mr. Goldfinch, another raking left foot. Inside forward 50 they go. Oh, good mark. Yeah, Mr. Musica.
Ethan Goldfinch, best on in the grand final last year, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And did numerous of those long runs.
Yeah.
Broke the lines.
Very damaging left foot.
Sure has.
So, breeze is negligible, heading towards the western end. So this is where the pub and the paddock, and we've got the pig. Let's see if Mr. Musica can create some music here, Reg.
I'm backing him. Likes a goal.
I'm looking forward to the celebration. Wow.
Oh, look at that.
Hey dear, splits the hey diddle diddle. Does the big fella. And so Michael Musica gets on the board. And they got a commanding lead now. 28 points, 5-1-31. East Coast Swans representing the Fingal Football Club. Evandale Eagles 3 behind. Darrin Geard.
The transition of the East Coast from back to forward, like they've been able to, it's all there with Ethan Goldfinch, carry it basically length of the ground, hit a target in forward 50. So I think we've probably seen similar ball transfer and ball usage from Evandale, just their efficiency hasn't been great. It's just let down by a drop mark or missing a target. So that's one thing that the Swans are doing very well at the moment.
I'm quite impressed with the Mazda BT50 Division 2 Senior Men's skill set here today, being put on display by the East Coast Swans. What a cracking day at Pyengana. Stoltenberg wins the tap. No one able to clear. He just boots the ball off the ground as he comes through. It comes to Cousins, back to Watts. Watts, shot on goal. Oh, he's missed it. So Tully Watts is second behind. So they go to 5-2.
Slick hands by Jordan Cousins.
Yeah.
Will take the Swans boys a little while to get used to how skilled and how quick Jordan is.
Correct. Yeah, for sure.
Kick out. Houghton. Justin Houghton. Hands it to Lockhart. Lockhart's kick. Centre forward, but it's been chopped off there.
Aaron Mason.
So Mr. Mason. Aaron, number 16. Got a number of left footers, Reg, in the side. Has that been a deliberate tactical ploy from a recruiting point of view?
It'd be good if it was by design, but it's a huge advantage.
Here's the captain, Marcus Haley. What can you tell us about him, Reg?
Born and bred St Helens. Went off to play some good football with North Launceston, Hillwood, and has been back with us for about 7 years.
Down on the riverfront. And good mark.
Damon Howe.
I think he's a former Devonport boy, if I remember correctly.
Hillwood as well. Came with Nathan Lowe. They had played together. Or Nathan had coached him previously. Classy.
Haley to Newitt out wide. Scoreboard side of the ground. Love it on the back of the truck. Just fantastic.
The Stolts, mate. Look, Willie Stoltenberg.
Can he move all right at the minute? The big fella. But to his counterpart, and that was Mr. Berry. And he goes short, still inside the defensive 50. Can't pick up the player.
I think it's Hutton.
Hutton. Again, they go short. This time it's in the hands of Tepper. Good man to have the football. And they're just settling things down. Not sure who that was, 31. Oh, that's Johnston. So Johnston's kick, though, it's been taken away. Kick back inside forward 50.
Hutton again.
Taken there by the Eagles defensive expert, Mr. Hutton. Goes wide. Brown, Tyler. Looks like a former Bernie Docker, Damien Brown, way back when.
Cousins.
And in the hands of Cousins. He's going to have a shot on goal. He's going to the top of the goal square. Top of the goal square. And not quite sure what he was trying to do there. And we're going to get a boundary throw in. So McCarroll says, no problems, we'll sort that out.
I think he was expecting someone to lead back to the square. I think.
yeah, mixed mind.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, it's to their advantage because they're got a boundary throw in. So the ball in. No one takes it cleanly. Stoltenberg now. Handball. Good step. Bannister. One way, then the other. Across the body. There's one for the ages.
Yep.
So Dakota Bannister gets their sixth. So they move to 6-2, 38, 35 points in arrears to the Eagles, the Evandale Football Club, Darrin Geard.
Yeah, once again, I think just efficiency. Bannister, as I said, he's a solid body around the contest. Highly skilled, very experienced footballer and great finish.
So the recruits have brought something that the Swans struggled with in the last couple of years, inaccuracy in front of goals. So Bannister, Musica, Cousins all know how to kick goals will make a huge difference.
Yeah. The beauty, I think, with Bannister as well, like he's played ruck at TSL level, so and you've got him as a ruck rover in the middle there, sort of thing. So
big body. That was Talbot giving it across to Haley. Haley inside forward 50. No one able to take the mark. Going back with the pack. That was I think McCarroll showing. No, that's McCarroll now. It's in the hands of McCarroll. Tries to get it out to Cousins. Cousins feeds it back across the body with the boo-na-na. I didn't pick the player up. Who was it, Reg?
Michael Murfitt, I think.
Mr. Murfitt. So that was a terrific kick. So check side, standing start. We'll double check on that.
Yeah, did I get that right? Could have been Lou McCarroll again.
So here it is, Cousins.
Yeah, pretty sure Michael Murphy.
Michael Murphy. That's his second for the quarter. 44 plays, 3, 7-2, 3 behinds.
The back half of this quarter certainly belonged to East Coast as far as forward of centre football, entries into their forward half, and score on the board.
Yeah, well, I'd be interested. We'll get your thoughts shortly, Darrin, with regards to what the Evandale Eagles coaching fraternity are going to be able to put in place. Unable to take the mark. It's number 25, so that was Michael Murphy. Good tackle being applied there by the Eagles on Mr. Musica, and they're going to be rewarded.
Shannon Bruff.
So Mr. Bruff missed it initially. Good pick up there by Musica, ducked his head. Bruff's kick. Pushing Mr. Sitter. Good pressure applied. And it comes out to Haley. Kick inside forward 50, no one able to take the mark. The Eagles clear.
Solid contest there.
Certainly was. A free kick not going the way of Blunt. In fact, it's going to go the way of Tepper. That left foot, that's a good kick. Good lead up too. Good well taken there by Talbot Jordan. He goes further afield. Kick those chopped off.
Turnovers are hurting Evandale on their transition play.
Newitt to Stoltenberg. Look at him. Jesus, for a big man, he moves quite well. Very agile. To the captain. Over to Cousins. Inside forward 50. Is it to the advantage? He's going to receive the free kick. That's Mr. McCarroll. And just outside the goal square, so he'll be on an angle. And Mr. Tepper, Luke Tepper, not real happy with the decision made by the umpire.
I think it was there. And a 50-metre penalty, I think, paid now. So
they can write this one down. So Mr. McCarroll has got 3 in the first. And right on quarter time, and that's at the 25-minute mark. So what are we, 8-2, 50, 47 points in arrears of the Evandale Football Club. The Eagles are 3 behinds. And they've had 2 of those 3 chances they really should have converted. Nonetheless, Reg and Darrin, it's been all the Fingal Football Club, represented by the East Coast Swans.
Yeah, a couple of costly drop marks as Evandale went forward, particularly earlier in the quarter. Got to seize those opportunities. A difference I pick up, Evandale's strengths in recent years has been their spread and switch and possession, retaining of the ball, and could be a combination of great pressure from the East Coast Swans to cut down the space a little bit, and I don't know, the skill level of Evandale doesn't seem to be as sharp as what I've witnessed in recent times.
Yeah, they certainly had their opportunities in the forward half, but really didn't capitalise. And at times, even when they were transitioning, just weren't able to hit that target to actually maintain possession. If you haven't got the ball in your hand, then you're basically doing a lot of chasing. And certainly East Coast made the most of every forward entry.
Goal kickers for the East Coast Swans, representing the Fingal Football Club here at Pyengana in the 10th anniversary of this particular match. 3 to McCarroll, 2 to Michael Murphy, and singles to Musica, Jordan Cousins and Dakota Bannister. The Evandale Eagles are yet to register a major on the scoreboard. I might just quickly dial in and see if we can hear Ray Chamberlain.
That's that silly old...
We may not. Okay, so...
we'll avoid Ray at quarter time, half time and 3/4 time.
Yeah, maybe. Well, the reason I wanted to, I just thought the instruction that he might be giving towards some of the young umpiring fraternity out on the field today.
So he's umpiring out there with Hamish Anderson and Noah Jackson, so 2 really 2 young umpires. I've had the pleasure to actually umpire with both of them as well, and really promising umpires on the rise through the ranks.
I will look forward to seeing what they can contribute to football across the northern part of the state. Gotta love this, Reg. Look, they got the dog out. This is just fantastic. The sheepdog's out there working with the football as it goes around. The boys are kicking it into triangle. This is just magic out here.
It's just what the whole idea was about is bring footy back to the absolute grassroots. This incredible setting that we're gifted to have on our doorstep, and we've been able to set it up and stay true to this real carnival atmosphere, and people just love it.
Just want to touch on, Rich, the function last night. So you obviously had Ray Chamberlain there with Brendan Gale.
Yes, outstanding.
Yeah.
Fantastic roll-up, surpassed what we would imagine. We've never done it before on the eve of the Pyengana game, but thought 10 years in, that it was pretty fitting to do a special occasion. Brendan Gale, how generous. The Tassie Devils, they're just doing things so well at the moment. Brendan was very insightful, very open-candid. And then Ray, absolute entertainer. Pretty humble, Ray, and had some nice life story in amongst some fantastic humour as well. Had the audience riveted.
Very good.
Well, we're going to take a quick break here from Pyengana, brought to us today by Bay of Fires, Flying Colours Group, Bendigo Bank, Blooms the Chemist, all supporting the East Coast Swans, along with Mazda Launceston. James Bogue, established in 1881, and Mazda Launceston, for those of you, you can go get your BT50 down in Launceston. This is the Div 2 Senior Men's of the NTFA. We'll be back very shortly from Pyengana.
Since 1886, the NTFA has been a part of our DNA. And this Anzac Day weekend, we'll honour those past and present who've served their country in northern Tasmania. 8 grounds across the north will come to life with the sounds of NTFA footy. In the Premier League, Launceston hosts Scottsdale and Deloraine at home to Longford. Sunday, it's North Lonnie versus South Lonnie. In Div 1, the Red Legs are at home against the Lilydale Demons, and St Pat's are taking on the Hillwood Sharks. Then, the grudge match, Owells against Old Scotch. Sunday, it's Rocherlee against the Bridgenorth Parrots. Div 2, the Suns and Swans are at Westbury, and the Seagulls are at home in Bridport as they take on Perth. Also, Evandale at home taking on the Robins. The NTFA on Anzac Day. It's in our DNA.
And welcome back to Pyengana. We're at the 10th anniversary of the match here, just in front of the dairy and the pub and the paddock where we can feed the pig with a beer if we wish. And it's 8-2-50 East Coast Football Club representing Fingal today over the Evandale Football Club, the Eagles. And Darrin Geared, some of the better players from the first quarter.
Oh, look, I think for East Coast, I think Bannister, Sam Talbot, I thought was really good, and obviously Liam McCarroll with 3 goals. And I thought Stoltenborg out of the middle was really good. Strangely enough, Evandale better players were probably players that were behind the footy, so I thought Elliot Lockhart as their captain and Justin Hutton were really good.
Ball's in the hands of number 22, so that's Daniel Berry. So Eagles, they need this, and they need it early in order to make a bit of a statement and try and get some momentum. So Berry, from a long run up, just in front of the interchange.
Usually a very good finisher. I've seen him in the past.
From 50, it's a bit up and under. It's going to get to the top of the goal square. No one able to take the mark. Handing it over the top of his head, knew it. And believe it or not, it's going to come off here for the Swans. The Swans towards half back. Taken away there by Bushing with his left boot around the corner. Again, they repel. Bushing goes again, knocks the ball forward. Still at half forward for the Eagles. They need to continue to apply some pressure. Knew it by hand, missed his target. Looking for Harrison. Eagles now through Axton. Inside forward 50. Mark, no. Free kick, no. Umpire says play on. Comes out via Haley and he hits his target there in number 10. I think that might have been Jackson Riley. Good defence, Darrin.
Yeah, for sure. I think Reg just commented young Jackson Harrison's out of East Coast under-16s from last year. So great to see players coming out of their junior program into senior football.
Angus Tate, part of the East Coast Swans, getting the ball up. Stoltenberg, manhandled. No, according to the umpire. Bannister, look at that, just a big fend off by the big fella. Wheels onto his right boot. That's a good mark, going back with the fly to the pack. Cousins. Beautiful left boot. Looking for McCarroll. Not quite to his advantage. And the gentleman in the number 6. We're not 100% sure. Who did we think it was, Darrin?
I thought it was Jackson Harrison, but no, he's definitely out there in the 8. So I think Reg has gone off to try and sort out who it actually is.
We will get back to that very shortly.
Jordan Cousins building into the contest, isn't he? Like, he's had a couple of possessions early part of this quarter already.
Certainly has. And ball from that boundary throwing goes back across the boundary line, right in front of the Eagles. Defence. We've got another boundary throw in. There's Mr. Lefevre. Great technique. Straight up and down. Berry loses possession. They follow up though through Brown. They get it out. The Eagles by foot. Centre wing position.
That's so funny.
That's Ray Chamberlain.
Been cut a Paddy Lasso.
That's Ray Chamberlain. You can hear in the background.
That's the best.
He's having a bit of a chat with some of the players out on the ground.
Ethan Goldfinch there with the free kick.
Mate.
Zach Burt.
Mark.
Zach Burt, former North Launceston player. 3 grabs of the cherry. Finally gets it. And they're going to release. They haven't quite got sticky fingers and they need them at this particular point. It's Jordan Talbot.
Goodness gracious.
They release by hand, that number 6. And we've got Reg back
Another
with
good
us.
mark.
Did you find out, Reg, who
Well,
number
mate.
6 was?
No, I've got a feeling it's Luke
Latch.
Weldon, but haven't.
14.
Luke Weldon?
I need to confirm that.
Right.
No, I think I've
the ball?
seen Luke out there in the 15. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't think maybe it's not Luke Weldon. We'll come back to you with regards to that. Good chase up though. Haley, first back. No, goes across the boundary line. Free kick going the way of Evandale. And
It's Xavier Murphy,
Xavier Murphy.
Michael's son, 16, 17 years old.
There you go.
So he's in the 6.
Correct.
Yep. Cool.
Righto.
It's an interesting kick. Come on, lad.
And ball runs out of bounds.
1, 2,
just
3.
in front
Got
of
it.
Linford. So we're going to get a boundary throw in. Centre wing position on the far side of the ground. It's where the dairy is. 8-2-50. Swans.
Here's a go.
The
Pick that up and
Eagles.
you're away, son.
3 behinds.
How they get one here?
They get
Oh, good
towards half
contest.
forward. Good contest.
Ray's doing the commentary for us out there at the moment. He's
Well done.
But they lose possession, and it's now in the hands of Bannister. Centre of the ground. Goes wide. No, not McCarroll. That's Murfitt. So Murfitt now will be having a shot on goal. So that's... Michael goes further afield. Cousins on his left boot, around the corner, to the near side, though, and he's missed.
Thanks for not killing him. That was sweet. Thank you.
So, and that is one behind to the total. So 51 plays 3, 8-3. 51 the Swans, the Eagles 3 behinds. So that's Xavier Murfitt, Michael Murfitt's son. Right,
Yep.
Okay, terrific.
That's why Murph's still playing. Just had this desire to be still out there when his son comes through.
Xavier, fresh out of Prospect under 16s last year.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think he played a game here last year as well, Reg, didn't he? I think during the year.
Played under permit one senior game.
Ball comes to Bannister from the stoppage. Out wide, 29. He's picked that up. That was Goldfinch. Hands it back. Weldon. Ball chopped off by Burt. Burt's released by foot. Centre wing position. We're still on the far side of the ground. It's a good pick up there by young Blunt. His handball. Ends up in the hands of Haley. It goes check side. Releasing was Anderson, but he's been brought down in a tackle. And Mr. Murfitt.
20 years ago.
He's going to receive the free kick. Great tackle, great chase.
Yeah. Just lack of awareness there.
By the young fella.
Yeah.
Hey.
Zach Burt's had a lot of the footy for Evandale this quarter, but he's sort of playing that stopgap in the back half, isn't he? Sort of trying to stem the flow. So you sort of lose the advantage of actually having him around the footy or forward of the footy.
Murfitt already has 2 to his name.
It's a good kick from there.
Oh, just to the near side.
He's very,
And that goes 2 goals 1. So they've had some opportunities, some good ones, Reg, early. But they've only registered 2 behinds.
Yes.
Oh, he's overcooked it. He's found the other
That's a
fella.
good kick to the advantage of his teammate. Got a handball. I think that might have been Callow. They lose possession, though. It's coming back.
Ethan Goldfinch there.
Yeah, Goldfinch on his left boot. Cousins. Set back to Goldfinch. Across his body. Or was that Mason?
I think it was Aaron Mason.
Aaron Mason on the left boot, and he's kicked his first for the game. And it's the first of the second quarter, so they move to 9-4-58. The Swans, 55 points in arrears of the Evandale Eagles. Darrin Geard.
Another good finish there. Once again, just comes off an error and turnover out of from Evandale, bringing it out of their back half. The Masons are they related, Reg?
Yes, brothers.
Yeah, brothers. Yep.
I think that was Angus Tate that kicked that goal.
Good.
Left footer.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, sweet.
Number 46.
Yeah.
How we going, everyone? We're sweet.
You think it was 46,
Angus
not Mason?
I'm going to come straight out the back, all right?
All right, we'll go with Angus
you.
Tate. We'll change that up. So not Mason, my apologies.
Pyengana boy.
Player. Play on.
No one able to clear. Knocking it out. Comes to the advantage of Haley. Haley's handball.
In trouble here. Play on handball.
Talbot.
Yeah, gets to Talbot. They move it forward by hand. Oh, by chance lands in the hands of Watts. Watts' kick, though. Might have been taken there by Burt. Burt by hand. Gives it out to Axton. Axton goes wide. He's got a player loose. Not up to it at that point. That was Evans. He's been beaten to it there by Aaron Mason. We'll get it right this time. He wheels around onto his left boot. Doesn't hit a target. Good defensive efforts there by Axton. Diving on over the top of the football was Brown. It comes back out to Cousins. That beautiful left boot. Top of the goal square. Murfitt. Defensive pressure by the forward against his opponent in Brow. And the ball goes across the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw in.
Holding there. Sorry, man.
They look very dangerous, though, those 2 forwards, Murfitt and McCarroll, don't they, when they get their ball in there? And if you get the silver service delivery from Cousins.
Absolutely. Berry with the tap back. They're able to release. I don't think it's going to be to their advantage, though. That's a good mark.
And 50.
Taken under pressure by Sam Talbot. And this is where a bit of ill discipline, Reg, is going to hurt Evandale Eagles even further, and that came through Dylan Johnston.
Yep. Not a lot in it, but when it's there, it's there. It's got to be paid, and they're costly.
They certainly are. So you can write this one down to Dylan Johnston.
Sam Talbot, goals.
Talbot.
Oh, Sam Calvert, sorry. Sam Calvert. So Talbot there. He gets the second of the second quarter, and that's his first for the match.
Sam, been a fantastic recruit. Won our best and fairest last year.
And that goes with the premiership. So 15-18-108 against the Campbelltown Robins, which was 5-7-37. And the game was played at Campbelltown. Good win by the Swans.
Oh, last week.
Oh, that was last week. My apologies.
Yep.
Last week. Yeah, where was a look at the premiership? It was 1 point last year, wasn't it? That's where it was
9
against
points.
9 points.
Yeah.
10-8-68 in premiership year against Perth.
Correct.
8-11-59. Getting his hands to the football there was Tepper. Feeds it back. Good smother being applied by Weldon. Diving on top of the football and creating a tackle was Ty Blunt. So we'll get a ball up. Just forward to the centre for Fingal. East Coast Swans. There's the big fella. Over the top. Musica. Jeez, he's strong in the contest, isn't he? They're still laying on top of him. They don't want him to get the football. Obviously not.
I think it's young Jordan Tepper. I think that the two of them know each other quite well, so I think a bit of byplay there.
No one able to get it clear. Stoltenberg or Perry comes out to Talbot. Goal kicker just into the second quarter. Second of the second quarter. Murphy across his body. This will be a miracle goal if he gets that. It's got to have the bounce. It doesn't. Goes through for another behind. So he's kicked 2 goals to Michael Murphy, but he's causing some headaches, Darrin.
He is been a little bit inaccurate this quarter, but as I say, he's certainly getting his hands on the footy still.
What could they do, Darrin, the Eagles, in order to be able to start to get some form of momentum?
Look, I think it's really trying to restrict the forward entries from the East Coast. So it's probably more accountability around opponent. Try and lock it down. Try and actually get your hands on the footy and then maintain possession. I think that's been their biggest issue, is being unable to really just string it together and maintain possession.
Yeah, that has been an issue. Davies' kick wasn't to the favour of his teammate, but it was a good follow-up. I think was that number 20? I can't think, couldn't see. Might have been 26, Reaney. Was able to knock the ball forward for the Eagles. So it's inside their forward 50. They have an opportunity now to get on the scoreboard. Unable to do so. Fingal clear. Out towards, believe it or not, is that their Musica. Look at that step, glide, swivel, back to Cousins.
I think that's the difference at the moment, is the polish of those two. You've got Musica, you've got Cousins, really sort of cutting a path through the middle of the ground at the moment.
And I spoke about this man just before. He's creating some real havoc for the Eagles. And that lead there, silver service to Michael Murphy. And he's going to be having a shot for his third. He's had 2 goals too, Reg.
Yes, can't predict this one. Has been a prolific goal kicker in the past. What's he done?
Just to the near side, unfortunately.
Oh.
Too near. And it's out of bounds on the full.
Thanks, Ray.
So he's had 3 opportunities this quarter. And each of those opportunities, he hasn't scored a major. He could be the leading goal scorer quite easily with 5 to his name, but that's not the case. So they choose to transfer the foot play. The Eagles hold possession.
Elliot Lockhart there, captain.
So Lockhart, the captain, goes wide. Looks like
Berry.
Yeah, Daniel Berry. Young Anderson, it looks like, from Collingwood.
Yep.
He's got the similar hairdo.
You kick.
Where was he? He was in Nepal when he got picked up, I think.
Tepper again.
Yeah, so Tepper.
Go, son.
Opportunity to move the footy quickly. That's what they do. Yes, and they've hit a target up forward. So Jordan Talbot.
So all of a sudden being able to keep their hands on the footy, being able to transition from the back line to the forward line, just by just actually moving East Coast around.
Well, based off previous efforts, I think this might be outside his range. Nonetheless, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. comes off the side of the boot. It's out wide. Big fist.
Go again.
And we're going to get a boundary throw in inside the forward 50. So we're on the Dairy side of the ground. Reg, what will be happening post-game today?
Few post-game presentations, and then we roll into that wonderful food that's cooking on the spit there. We auction off those Fingal jumpers, and then we got some live music. So it's pretty full on.
Outstanding. Bannister inside. Finds Mason. Plays on in the long sleeves. Oh, almost got run down. Kick. Unfortunately, was impacted. And he's going to get a free kick. That's Tyree Marshall, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, because he'd already got rid of the football.
Xavier Murphy there.
Stand, please.
Yep. So Tyree Marshall.
Move it on, mate.
Been told to move it on by Ray Chamberlain. Oh, good smother by the young man. So that was Xavier Murphy. Comes out now to Watts. Watts looks inboard. Oh, unfortunately unable to take it with one grasp was Weldon, and they release. Goes back out via Brow. Kick off the side of the boot. Unfortunate. Lands in the hands of Xavier Murphy. This kid has got something about him. His kick, though, not to the advantage
Out, thank you.
of McCarroll. And chipping in to take the mark was Tepper.
Yours.
Luke Tepper, tattooed right leg. Oh, good use of the body. Unable to take the mark was young Daniel Berry. Goes backwards in order to be able to go forwards.
Reaney.
Didn't
Brody
mind that.
Reaney there.
Yeah, so Brody Reaney.
Young plugger.
Hey.
Beautiful kick, look at that. That's a good
Play on.
switch if I've seen
You
one.
kick.
And they bring the ball back inside now. Berry unable to take the mark. Palms off the opponent. By the big fella. Uses his foot. Unfortunately, doesn't go to the advantage of his teammate. Talbot, Bannister. Bannister inside forward 50. McCarroll unable to take the mark.
Play
Anderson. Good pressure
Play
been
on.
applied. In comes the cavalry through Tepper.
Dive on that at the same time.
And we can hear him
Thank
raise
you.
a ray. I'm going to
Get
get the
a roll.
ball up. Out to the advantage of Callow. Goes wide to Berry, I think. Oh no, here's Berry. That might have been Brow. So Brow to Berry. Half back.
Move it on, mate.
Look at those scenes in
Play
the
on.
background. Just magic.
Yours.
What a cracking day here at Pyengana.
Stand, please.
Is that 15?
Very marginal, I would suggest. Perhaps Ray's a
Move
bit
it on.
tired. Didn't want to step that out.
Yeah, that's right. I was just going to say. Hamstrings working overtime. Good defensive pressure there
Stinging
been
for a
applied
coffee
there
if
by
you want to
Cousins.
treat. A beer would be great, but then I'd be no good.
We concur, Ray. Might have one with a spit at the end of the day. What is the spit, by the way? Is it lamb or pork?
Pork and lamb.
Pork and lamb, outstanding. Yeah, we'll be back, no doubt about that. Haley is at 360 and...
I think he was over the line by the time
line.
the tackle was completed, so we've got a ball in.
So ball in. 64 plays 3.
Emphasis through pre-season, Reg, like with the group, I'm sort of noticing, I reckon they're a really fit-looking group.
Things have changed a fair bit, and you know we have that challenge of half in town and half losses. They do an incredible amount of fitness work as individuals.
Yeah, yep.
All that Strava app and lots
So
of...
they're accountable to the coaches by recording what they're doing individually as well.
Yep. And then they're competitive beasts. So they see what everyone else is doing, and so some of them did huge pre-season.
Yep.
It's in the hands of the captain, Haley. Goes out wide. You can see a runner into space. Kona tuck, a bit like Michael back in the day. Out to Riley. Riley's kick, unfortunately, wasn't quite to the advantage of his teammate.
It was actually off his foot, unfortunately. It bounced off his foot, so Murphy has a shot on goal.
So poor Shannon Brow gives it to the man that's been dominating the second quarter. Let's see if he can convert. Good body, good positioning. Just unlucky, really. Well, you can't get any further in the grandstand. Have a seat, Michael. Literally coming out the back of a U.
Thank you.
That's not a bad looking effort. Might be just to the near side. It is. So that's his third behind for the quarter.
Who do they? As they say in
He'd be
France.
enjoying his time with his son in the senior lineup, Reg.
Oh, absolutely delighted he is. Yes,
Proud.
giving him a bit of a lease on life. It has.
Oh, it certainly has. How old is he? He doesn't-
Good.
Oh, I'm not sure. I better not give that away.
I think this is in the hands of Berry. Berry towards centre wing. Oh, good mark. Over the top. That was Mason. Hands it to Talbot, I think. No, Tate. And
Dan.
who's that at 15?
Play on.
That's Weldon.
Weldon.
Yeah.
Stoltenberg. Willie Stoltz.
A big fella. Salutes.
Isn't that great reward for a stacker running today already from the big Stoltz?
That's his first. It's a third of the second quarter.
I've got a bit of a soft spot for Stoltz because he played in two sides that I coached a premiership. So
Was this at Old Scotch or something?
no, not
Launceston.
Launceston. So
Launceston, good.
2009, 2011, Stoltz, he played in both of those that I coached. So yeah.
Stoltz loves this ground. He grew up not very far, 20 minutes down the road from here. Has won the Best on Ground medal a couple of times previously.
Well, he'd be in contention today, the big fella.
Certainly getting him first use out of the middle. Here he is.
Again.
On cue.
Absolutely. Inside forward 50, good defensive mark. Callow, bow, variety. Goes wide by hand into the hands of Elliot Lockhart. Good smother. Comes back to Callow. Callow goes long. Oh, that would have been a free kick anyway, one would have thought.
Riley.
Young Riley. Good kick, good presentation there. Is that the captain? I think it is. Haley.
No, Tully Watts.
Tully Watts, is it? Not number 7, was it? Not 1. And who's that in the hands?
Jared Mason.
Mr. Mason.
So the Mason boys, are they?
Oh, just wait. Yeah.
Are they
Jared.
coastal or? Because I certainly played
Scamander boys.
Scamander boys. His dad may have played football at St Mary's.
Yes.
Yeah,
Big Tim.
I played football with his dad at St Mary's years ago. So yeah. Geez, I'm feeling old now.
That's a good looking kid. It's got the distance, but it's to the far side. So Jared Mason, his first score for the day. It's behind in the second term.
I think what's impressive about this with East Coast, you look at the scoreboard, it's a lopsided scoreboard, but their intent and attack on the contest just hasn't dropped.
No, I totally agree. They're looking pretty promising. Tate, back inside forward 50, no one able to take the mark. Overrunning it there was Murphy. Comes out to McCarroll by hand. They feed it. Bannister across the body.
Goal.
And he wants a box of chocolates, and he takes them. So the big fella.
That's
It's his second.
great goal sense that those more experienced players have.
Yeah. And even just running to the spot, just
Yeah.
getting into the right spot there. He could have quite easily been sucked into that contest, but just basically held off, held the distance, held the width. Yeah.
Yeah, good smarts, good ball usage by the Evandale forwards, and great craft being displayed there by Dakota Bannister, holding his width.
I should just say on the goal umpires, we've got Mike Simmons with his 700th game, and we've got Will Bennett in the other goal. So Will's actually a VFL umpire this year.
Yes.
So down here to actually umpire. Good mates of Mike Simmons, so an opportunity presents itself to come down and umpire with him, which is fantastic to see as well.
You kick!
Memories that'll last forever as the ball goes inside forward 50 for the Eagles. I think for about the 5th time this quarter. It's going to be repelled though through Ethan Goldfinch. Mark taken by Stoltenberg, BOG for mine. Unfortunately his handball doesn't quite hit the target, but he's good enough to pick it up. Look at that left foot kick. Michael Musica. They tap the ball forward to the advantage, comes out to Cousins. Back to, is that Murphy? And Murphy finally gets on the scoreboard in the second term. That's his third. He's got 3 goals, 3 to his name. So 1-3 in the second term.
Could have really had a dominant quarter, Murph, couldn't he? He's kicked 1-3 like it could have been.
He could have 6 straight.
Yeah.
So Reg, that was just silky smooth from the back half right through there for the Swans.
Fantastic to see that clean link-up footy, and comes with those prepared to make the effort to running, make good position, and have the eyes to use them.
It's a bit of a luxury, Reg, that you've got Ethan Goldfinch playing on a half-back flank, who last year was probably one of the elite midfielders of the competition.
We it's good to keep Ethan back there for as long as we can, because he cuts loose when he gets back into the middle and relishes it.
Bushy's kick was smothered. Comes to Haley inboard. You could hear that. That was a great kick.
Tully Watts there. He's had a bit of it this quarter.
He has. Cousins wide, and time beats them as they come up to the 25-minute mark. And at the end of the second quarter, we see the East Coast Fingal Swans 13-6-84 leading Evandale Football Club. Not scoring in that second term. They were 3 behind. So what do we got? 5 goals for actually going to the East Coast Swans in that second term, Darrin. Our goal kickers, as we get you to prepare some of our better players for both sides very shortly. 3 each to Michael Murfitt and Liam McCarroll. McCarroll's all in the first term. Michael Murfitt finally got on his single in the second, so that gives him 3 with 2 in the first. 2 to Dakota Bannister. We've got singles to Jordan Cousins, Michael Musica, along with Will Stoltenberg and Angus Tate. Yet to hit the scoreboard are the Evandale Eagles. They've got a fair bit of work to do.
Certainly have, and look, I think best players that quarter. I think Jordan Cousins was certainly extremely good that quarter. Musica really stepped up. His contested work was a highlight. I really like Jared Mason that quarter, in the long sleeves, and really presented well. Took a couple of really good marks, and look, that quarter really could have belonged to Michael Murfitt if he'd actually been able to slot him through the big stick. So his quarter was really good as well. For Evandale, look, really sort of struggling to really find some leaders on the ground, but I thought Zach Burt behind the football really stood up for them that last quarter. So a bit of work to do for Evandale. Look, I think Xavier, you've probably been in that coaching box as well. What do you say to a team? It's about going out and try and win the moments. Can you take something out of the quarter? Can you halve a quarter and try and sort of take something out of the game? It's 81 points down. It's a long way back, but what can you do? Win a moment, win a quarter. Try and take something out of the game.
Yeah, totally agree with that. I'd also throw in a little bit more physicality at the moment. The Eagles just are allowing the Fingal East Coast Swans to do as they like, and with the skilled players that they've got in their side, you can see it's almost like a training drill out here at Pyengana. So if they can throw a little bit of physicality, they actually might get themselves back in the game, because they'll become more invested, and they'll note that those players then are those better players like Musica and company, as you just mentioned, have got 2 arms and 2 legs. Yeah.
Look, and I think if you allow East Coast to still get on the outside, they'll cut you to pieces.
Just quickly, just wanted to look at, after round number 1, the NTFA men's senior ladder brought to us by Mazda BT50 in Division 2. We see Perth senior men sit on top after the first round with a percentage of 1,045. Bridport in second position, 623. East Coast on 291. And then we've got Campbelltown University, Meander and Evandale at the rear of the field. Yeah, but they had the bye last week.
They had the bye last week. So this is Evandale's first game for the year, so their first hit out. So I think if you look at this particular competition, I think East Coast certainly one of the favourites. I think Perth are going to present very well during the season. Bridport certainly have recruited, so it's going to be interesting to see what they look like when they come up against a Perth, or when they come up against a East Coast. So so a very interesting competition in the Div 2 format.
Certainly, East Coast Swans could go back to back in 25-26. This coverage of this product here today is supported by the Tasmanian government. We thank them for their support of the live coverage out of Pyengana, and we're going to take a break for the half time, and we'll be back here very, very shortly. We might even have some scores with what's going on around the grounds. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're enjoying the beautiful surrounds here at Pyengana. East Coast Swans currently leading by 81 points, 13-6-84. Evandale Eagles 3 behinds.
Since 1886, the NTFA has been a part of our DNA. And this Anzac Day weekend, we'll honour those past and present who served their country in northern Tasmania. 8 grounds across the north will come to life with the sounds of NTFA footy. In the Premier League, Launceston host Scottsdale and Deloraine at home to Longford. Sunday, it's North Lonnie versus South Lonnie. In Div 1, the Redlegs are at home against the Lilydale Demons, and St Pat's are taking on the Hillwood Sharks. Then, the grudge match, OLs against Old Scotch. Sunday, it's Rochalee against the Bridge North Parrots. Div 2, the Suns and Swans are at Westbury, and the Seagulls are at home in Bridport as they take on Perth. Also, Evandale at home taking on the Robins. The NTFA on Anzac Day. It's in our DNA.
Welcome back to Pyengana, where we have the East Coast Football Club, the Swans, representing Fingal Football Club, now defunct, against the Evandale Football Club, the Eagles. And it's 13-6-84. All the Swans, 81 points in arrears, are the Evandale Football Club, the Eagles, 3 behinds. Just quickly, Darrin, some round the ground scores in the
Div 2 comp,
yeah,
so
Mazda BT50.
So half time between Perth and Campbelltown. We've got Perth 60, Campbelltown 32. So a good start from Perth there. And the other match, Uni versus Meander Valley. So it's actually at half time, it's 41 apiece. So we're all tied up. So a really good contest there between those two. So I don't think they got a win last week, both of those teams. So hopefully someone trying to get on the board this week.
Away they go, and it's the Fingal Football Club getting the ball out towards young Murphy. And he goes across the boundary line. We're going to get a boundary throw in at half time, Reg.
Thank
we
you.
saw,
Thank you.
I think, the last of the Fingal Football Club's premiership team gather on the ground.
Well, we had everyone that had any association over time. So huge gathering out on the ground, and great photograph for the future.
Absolutely. Fantastic.
There's a bit of stargazing there for me, Reg. I think there was a lot of footballers there that I can remember from my younger days out there. So walking through the crowd. So, yeah, great to see them here.
Ball out.
Tyler Brown's kick inside forward 50 for the Eagles, unfortunately.
I'll go through, Jacko.
Hasn't been marked by one of their teammates. And in the midst of it all,
you're planning, Reg, to honour these clubs. So obviously, I know that what you've done over the last few years. Is it sort of your plannings now for next year? Is it sort of starts to who you honour next year, or
we go into a review in about 3 weeks' time, and it all starts all over again.
Jordan Tepper with a great tackle on Bannister. Feigns the handball, asked to play on, he wheels onto that left foot, and the mark has been taken
All clear
by Dylan Axton in the goal square, and they're pretty happy.
They're on the board.
Absolutely. So it's 1 goal 2. Oh, 1 goal 3. My apologies. 1-3-9.
Exactly what you spoke about there, Xavier. The pressure.
Yep.
So laid the tackle, get the free. You know, when you got your footy in your hands, you could be more damaging. So, and all of a sudden, a quick ball entry, and Dylan Axton made the most of that. Took an uncontested mark in the goal square.
Jordan Tepper been one of the better players too for the Eagles.
Yes, certainly. As I said, a very experienced player. You know, and a number of years at South Launceston and premiership player at North Launceston too, from my memory.
Ball back in the middle. They've got a change in the ruck. They've thrown in Tyler Brown. It's not to their advantage though. Look at Bannister. Steps around, has a bounce inside forward 50. Shot on goal. Almost got there. Rushed through there by Jared Mason in the end. So it's another rush behind for the Swans.
You did miss my little bit of discussion around best players. I thought Jared Mason was really good in that second quarter. Just really presented well. I think he's certainly been good over the first half.
Burt goes back. You can hear the boys say, "Come on, Jacko." So Davey. Further.
Tepper's busy.
Yep, and they're holding the football like you mentioned before, Geardy.
Yep.
So this is good by the Eagles. Callow. Kicks a bit more on up and under and allows Stoltenberg to go back with the flight of the football. Comes into the hands of Newitt, and by hand they feed it out to Bannister. Bannister inside forward 50. Who's the target here? Space. McCarroll. Robinson. Burt using his strength. That's around the shoulder.
Slightly high.
Yeah, a little bit. And giving away the free kick was Watts. So Zach Burt played that well, Reg, didn't he? Just sort of ducked into it.
A little bit of experience.
Finds Brow. Goes across field and across the goal to Lockhart. Lockhart goes back from whence it came. There's danger there. Danger across goal, Geardy.
I think what they're trying to do, though, is if they can really shift East Coast defence around, then it probably creates more opportunity rather than just banged it like what they're doing here. Long down the line, really it's just being picked off. So if they can shift the opposition around, then, you know, one, it potentially wears them out as well.
Yep, absolutely. Smart tactical football. Talbot, he kicks a bit of an up and under, expecting someone to take a mark. But I tell you what, this guy's been best on ground at the start of the second half. Zach Burt.
All his experience there, just get behind the footy. I think they need one of him at each end, though. That's the problem.
Bushing. They're controlling the ball, but they're flirting with danger because they're right in front of goal. Standing the mark is Mason.
I think any transfer, you want a bit of speed on it, though. Like the stop-start just allows them to move their defensive 150 there.
Yeah, a little bit of irresponsible work. What are we going to say, Reg?
Jackson Davey.
Mr. Davey. So, ball's in the hands of Davey. Gives it to Tepper. Uses that left boot. Oh, could have taken it away, the Eagles. Unfortunately, they don't. Clean hands now by the Swans. Chain of handballs lands in the hands of Cousins. Good kick. Mason. In the hands now, Weldon.
Jared Mason, a centre-half forward type, Reg, is he? Or he seems to sort of be that link player at the moment that a lot of ball goes through.
He's certainly a fair target there, very much a confidence player, but can play in any of those positions on the forward line, and it's good to have a few others there. Takes a little bit of pressure off him.
Michael Musica. Now, Darren, back in your and my day, this is the heyday, we would line up.
The drop punt.
Yeah.
Yes, the game certainly has changed, hasn't it?
Around the corner, not the best of efforts.
I find it quite strange when you see in AFL level, when you see someone like a Sam Draper dead in front kicking around the corner as a preference for kicking of a goal. So, yeah.
And they say you get more purchase on the footy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's just more about the ball drop, to be honest. Anyway, kick out wide for the Eagles. Oh, well taken. Oh, that's in, surely.
No, I think it was just out. Well, we can't question Mitch Lefevre, most experienced umpire in front of us there. Oh, he's getting a bit of banter from the crowd there, I think, as well, around the decision.
Right next to the wet area.
Ross, thank you.
Out by a mile.
Thank you.
So boundary throw-in. Voice of Razor Ray in the background.
Music on the fly.
Away they go, though, through Berry. Good attack on the footy by the young man. That was Axton. He loses out, though. Weldon. Wide. Newitt. And transferring play. Lands in the hands of Murfitt. Young Murfitt. X-Variety. Cousins. Oh, that kick, though, wasn't to the advantage of his skipper. Weldon follows up.
You kick!
Up, gives out to Talbot. Talbot inside forward 50. No mark over the top of Bannister. No real conviction there.
Tepper.
And Tepper now. Luke runs away, has a bounce. He's been chased down by Musica, but gets his boot to ball just in time. Centre wing. Who's that coming off? And is that a free kick to Evandale? Yes, it is.
Foot of the line, please.
So the recipient will be Axton, and that's that applied pressure. And if they can do it consistently enough, there'll be a bit of perceived pressure. Here's the replay. They move the footy now. Oh, dropping the football was Murfitt X-Variety. Comes out to Jordan Tepper.
Play on.
Kick's been punched away there by Goldfinch.
Berry here.
Clean was the captain, Haley. Talbot. And they're away here. They've got some space.
Play on.
Weldon. Cousin. Murfitt. Talbot from 50. He had a bit more time. It's still going to be a goal, is it? I think it is.
Cleared the pack. Yes.
Jackson Riley.
Haim.
So, Sam Talbot.
Sam Talbot, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was Sam Talbot.
All right.
And that's his second.
We may need to stand corrected. I think it was Talbot.
Well, he had the headband on.
Good job.
Here we go. So, Murfitt, handball.
Yeah, Talbot, isn't it?
Talbot.
Yeah, it is Talbot.
Keep going, boys.
Bit of a windmill sort of kick.
I don't
I've
think
got to be honest, I love it here.
I don't think it spun the way it was meant to spin.
It's not Mentone Beach, but it's up.
He's just got cut off. That was a Tourism Tasmania advert there by Razor Ray. That was magic. He doesn't want to leave. And we can understand why. Out the back, Bannister. Cousins. Good kick, good lead, good mark.
I think that's the fundamental difference between the two sides at the moment, is just their ability to actually hit targets.
So Mason, Jared Mason now, will be shooting for goal. So his role is centre half forward.
Yes.
Quite a lean centre half forward.
Hasn't kicked a goal yet. Very much like his dad. Oh no, it's just
bit of left to right, isn't it? Yeah.
Haim!
So that's 2 behinds. One in the second, one in the third. I actually like the rule now where you can actually play on as soon as the ball goes through the goals. You can just get going. I would have been able to add to my stats sheet back in the day. Anyway.
Well, I think there is an argument that should they count. If you kick it from within the square, it's not a possession. But if you kick it outside, it is. So all you have to do is take 1 inch outside the square, and it's a possession. So I'm almost in the court where I don't think it should count. But unless it's a different stat line itself as kick-ins.
Riley got his boot to ball, and Davey took it across the line. We get a boundary throw in. Centre forward there. Talbot. Not Talbot.
Tepper hasn't gone out there.
No, it hasn't gone out. Oh, getting right around was Watts.
Ooh.
And his kick. It's gone across the face.
Out of bounds.
And out of bounds.
Hit the post.
So it's hit the post, and we're going to get a boundary throw in. So that's to the advantage of the Swans. 90-point differential, 99, 15-9, 99, plays 139. Cracking day here at Pyengana. Big fella, Berry, out towards Tepper.
Did well.
He does. Gets it onto Callow
best player,
by hand. And then by foot. Unfortunately, his kick's been chopped off. And receiving that is Blunt, the vice-captain. Tell us about Jaden.
Get back to the kicker.
Jaden, local fella, played all through our junior teams and straight into our senior side out of under 16s, and just got stronger and more capable over time. Nice, solid, reliable centre half back.
Good mark in the contest there by Anderson. His kick, though, doesn't favour his teammate. It was a bit up and under. Looks like the gentleman there, Weldon, will get a free kick. He was deemed to have been legged by Ray, but he wasn't the officiating umpire, and that's holding the football. So away you go, the Eagles, out there through Tepper, and they come back inside. Good mark. Number 42, Mr. Tyree Marshall. Good vision. Goes to use the runner. That runner is Burt. Burt's kick, centre forward.
Zach's had a lot of it this quarter.
He has. Wasn't to the advantage of his teammate in Evans. So fighting for it. That might be Goldfinch. They went out to the Eagles through Axton. His handball was just a space. Getting back, though, was Goldfinch, and he comes wide. Newitt. Inboard. Bannister, been prominent in the third term in particular. Good kick. Finds a teammate. Tate. Short, good possession. Weldon. Newitt. And there's our centre forward.
Jared Mason again. Yeah.
The long sleeves.
He could be coming into contention, I think, for the best on. He's had a lot of it.
Looks a bit like Jeremy Cameron from a physical stature point of view.
Yeah, in 2 or 3 years' time when he fills out a bit more. Very much so.
Right footer, though.
Day free.
And I think
Day free. Awesome.
Yeah,
big wheels.
All good. So
that's his first goal, but he's had a significant impact on the contest across the course of the day.
Kicked 5 last week
Set
at
kick
Campbelltown.
control, clear the protected area verbally.
Again, so against Campbelltown last week, the Swans, 15-18, 108.
With the man on the mark, or
good win over the Campbelltown seniors, 5-7-37, and that was away too.
Clear that 45
on the road. Here at home, that's his first for the day. 1 goal, 2 today.
It's interesting, as we sort of spoke about what could Evandale do, and we're 13 minutes into the quarter, and we're 3 goals to 1. So they've almost, until that last goal, they'd almost halved the quarter.
Play on.
So they've just got to continue to really press on for the rest of the quarter.
Yeah,
Easier said than done when you've got clearances like that.
Exactly. Bannister inside forward 50. Murfitt gets there. Look away handball to Weldon. Winds up. on his right boot, kicking to Cousins. Is that a free kick?
I would have thought it would have been a free, but
Yeah.
I think the umpire there, if you look at it, was
freeze, but
looking into the sun there would have been very difficult to pick out. I think you'll see here the umpire's trying to shield his eyes to see the decision, so see the contest. So
throw in. Get his hands on it was Brown, Tyler. And wrapping up Bannister in a tackle, and that's deemed to be holding the ball or incorrect disposal. And the Eagles will come away with it. I think that's in the hands of Talbot Jordan. He kicks the ball long and high out towards the interchange. And is that out of bounds?
on the full there, I
It
think.
is.
Put on the line, please.
So the recipient will be Jackson Riley.
Me.
Good kick, good hit up to
3 metres back, please.
Bannister.
3 metres back. With me. Thank you very much. You're fine there. Play.
He goes short again. Another hit up. Unfortunately, it was chopped off. Well done by Brown. Gives it to Tepper. That lovely left boot, centre wing position. So they're making a real adjustment with regards to their strategy. Evandale, that's risky going inside. Axton
Play on.
hits up his teammate. Loon's kick doesn't hit the target. Getting back there was Harrison. Gives it off to Stoltenberg. Dominant big man in the first half. Out to the captain. Goes long. Oh, good mark. Plays on.
Me.
Strong. Riley. His kick though.
Go through.
And Weldon was saying he got pushed in the back.
Where's the mark, mate? Where's the mark?
A little bit of a rush of blood
Foot
there,
on the line,
Darrin,
please. Foot on the line.
by young Riley.
Terrific. Thank you.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he could have possibly gone back and tried to hit up a lead.
You kick.
So they're going to release now. Eagles, that's a beautiful looking
It's
kick.
Elliot Lockhart. I train with his dad. They're very, very similar with their ball use. We call his dad the Rolls Royce at training.
Right.
So, yeah.
We can see why. So Axton on top of that, and we'll get a ball up.
Where is
Stoltenberg drops the ball. They clear through the captain. They chop it off though to the Eagles. Well done. Good effort there by Justin Hutton. Tyler Brown. Possibly been a bit more effective, Darrin, too, in this second half.
Yeah,
against the big fella.
look, I think they've heavily relied on Tepper and Burt, but still been able to maintain possession of the footy and actually take a little bit of speed out of the game.
It's in the hands of Reaney. His kick, it's a bit of a kick and hope. Good defence by Blunt. Great tackle applied, but it's across the boundary line. Oh, the Fingal Swans defence. 105 plays 9. We are 17 minutes into the third term.
I would think, Reg, on the 3 years that I've been coming down here, this is probably the best weather we've had down here.
Oh, we've had a couple of crackers in the past, but I think you're right. It is just sensational out there.
Get it in, bruv.
Great wet head area weather. There's no doubt about that. And that's being well serviced at the moment. And there's Weldon. Weldon's been super prominent this quarter. That handball, though, decision making wasn't great. Neither was the execution. Getting his handball away was Reaney. Mopping up for Fingal was the captain. His kick, though, wasn't to the advantage of Weldon. That's a good mark taken by Callow. Looked a bit hurt there.
Play on. You kick.
Comes broadcast side of the ground.
3-on-1. It's an interesting choice.
I agree, Ray.
Special comments there by Ray Chamberlain. Out towards Newitt. Newitt further afield. Talbot. They haven't taken much ground, but they've transferred. It's a poor kick.
Stand, please.
He's been quite honest. Hutton,
You
back there,
kick.
he's sort of been a bit of a general on that back line.
Jordan Tepper. Totally agree. Much better by the Eagles this quarter. They may not win the quarter on the scoreboard. Is that 50?
Downfield, go.
And away they go. They've got advantage, surely. They do have advantage. And I think it's in the hands of Talbot. Jordan. He's had
Talbot, yep.
2. He doesn't
he's
need a
missed
third. And is he missed? No, I think he's kicked. Oh, he has too. Wow. Jordan Talbot. So he's kicked a behind in the first and a behind in the second. Not really sure what happened there. Yes, you can play on, son. That he did. He has one. He has two. And his execution. Gee. Well, what's the... Tell me, Reg, what happened to the old drop?
I was hoping we'd get a couple of deep breaths over here. What do you reckon? Couple of deep breaths?
Yep, all sorts of kicking styles around the goals these days.
Yeah, certainly is. Half forward. Was he taken out
free kick, yeah.
underneath? Yep. So, tunnelling. So, who's that with the free kick?
Riley.
So, Jackson Riley?
Jackson. No, Ty Blunt.
So, Mr. Blunt. Centre forward. Good defence. And they clear the Eagles. Good Shepherd. Great Shepherd applied there by Blunt. That was Jaden variety. And they brought the ball back in through Harrison. Chipping in.
He's been good, Axton. Marshall and Axton have been two young players that have played well for Evandale this quarter.
Yeah, they have had their moments. Callow goes across wide to Lockhart. And that's a risky kick. Reading it well was Ty Blunt. He goes to pick the ball up.
Hold the football.
That's incorrect disposal.
Relax. Stand up and take the kick, mate.
And Lukey Tepper just getting some instructions from Ray.
Gentle guidance.
Yes.
Move it on. Play on. Yours. Thank you.
Good kick. Is that a push out by Bird? Or did he get pushed into the contest? No, it's a push out. So, Newitt inboard to Haley. Strong local, leading from the front. He's had another good game today. His kick, though, that's not to the advantage of anyone on his side. And taking it away was Mr. Berry, but his kick has been chopped off by Blunt. Now, he's got an opportunity to have a shot on goal. What's his preferred side here?
Oh, this will test him.
This will test him?
I'd say 3 metres out the front of the goal square.
Yeah. Yo.
Yeah, so it holds up, true to word. And Robinson, I think, has taken the mark.
Yeah, good mark. Saxon Anderson, isn't it?
Oh, Anderson, my apologies. Saxon Anderson. So Anderson it is. And they go further afield. Jordan Tepper. Yeah, he's asking for 50. He's going to get it. So music.
Go towards the centre of the ground.
According to
Haim, go towards the centre of the ground. 15 metres. Let him go, let him go.
So Jordan Tepper takes advantage of no one on the mark. Uses that raking left foot. Good mark.
Oh, not paid.
Not paid.
Berry.
Wow. So Daniel Berry and...
That's a Brody Rooney, plugger.
But that was just great composure.
Yep.
And Reeney's kick too. Looks to hit up a player that was leading, and that is Mr. Jordan Talbot.
Yep.
So Jordan Talbot will be having a shot on goal, and I think they're going to deliver their second for the game and second for this third term. Darrin.
Well, hopefully, yeah. And as I say, if they do convert, all of a sudden, we're looking at a quarter that's 3 goals to 2. Sorry. So he's missed.
He's missed, unfortunately. So Jordan Talbot. That's his second behind this quarter. So they've had 1 goal 2 this quarter, with maybe a rush behind as well. So bringing the ball back in is Damon Howe. Good kick. Cousins need to man up, Eagles.
One player who I do not think you could leave unattended.
No. Lands in the hands of Murphy. Michael variety. Top of the goal square. Great kick. Is that Musica?
Yep.
4 clean kicks.
Yep.
And marks. Goal to goal.
And really, coming from a set shot, there's no reason why a player should not be manned up. You have more than enough time to lock down, sort of thing. Or are you assuming that the goal gets kicked, so I'll just wander off here? So really, it's and especially down the middle, give them wide, give them something wide. Don't give them the corridor.
So that's a doozy.
Musica.
Yep. and that's his first of the third. It's his second for the game. He's kicked 2 goals, 1. They move out to an 100-point lead, 17-9, 111, 1-5-11. So Swans v the Eagles. And at the Mazda BT50 Division 2 Senior Men's, it looks like the East Coast Swans, I reckon, are going to be moving to the top of the table, Reg, after round number 2.
Early days, but that's shaping to be a great win.
Just in the other contest, Meander 7 points up on Uni, so they've sort of stretched away, and Perth are comfortably in front of Campbelltown.
Get on your boot, mate.
So
Leg
Meander,
driver. Push
they've got
out,
the close
get inside
one.
50,
I think
bang.
Ray's almost a coach in waiting out there, isn't he?
It certainly is. Loves his footy. Had a good chat with him earlier today.
Get on it, bro. Oh,
So
it
Bannister,
off,
look at that, just palms off the defender. Goes for a run. Cousins over to Oh, look away, handball. How smooth was that? Bannister, is it going to count?
No.
No, says the umpire.
McCarroll took the mark, but
Yeah.
after the siren.
After the siren. So at 3/4 time, we have 17-9, 111. The East Coast Swans
deserved it, the
representing
look away.
Fingal, 1-5-11. The Evandale Eagles. Our goal kickers are as follows. For the East Coast Swans representing Fingal, we've got 2 3-goal kicker. Got 2 goal kickers that have got 3 to their name. Michael Murfitt and also Liam McCarroll. And then we've got 2 to Michael Musica and Sam Talbot, along with Dakota Bannister, and singles to Jared Mason, Jordan Cousins and Will Stoltenberg, along with Angus Tate. For the Evandale Eagles, much better in this start of the second half, so the third term. Their only goal, though, came through the service of Dylan Axton, but they had plenty of opportunities. Jordan Talbot had 2 real opportunities, didn't convert. That sometimes can be debilitating with regards to the emotional state that the players will take. Nonetheless, in saying that, their endeavour, Darrin, was much better in the second half.
And if Talbot had actually kicked those goals, we would have been looking at a 4-goal to 3-goal quarter. So, you'd almost take that as being a bit of a win in the context of the game. To actually, and even to even hold East Coast to 4 goals that quarter. Their defensive effort, defensive endeavours were good. Zach Burt behind the footy got really busy, as did Jordan Tepper in that link-up role sort of thing. So, definitely an improved effort that quarter.
We're going to take a break very shortly, but just want to extend a huge thanks to Bendigo Community Bank here at St Helens and St Mary's, Blooms the Chemist, the main game day sponsors, along with Mazda. Mazda BT50, bringing you the Division 2 Senior Men's Competition. It's 3/4 time here at Pyengana, the 10th anniversary of the East Coast Swans, representing former clubs down here on the East Coast. A super initiative. If you get the opportunity, I strongly encourage you to make your way down here in 2027. It's the East Coast Swans, 17-9, 111, representing the Fingal Football Club over the Evandale Eagles, 1-5-11. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back for the final term very shortly.
Since 1886, the NTFA has been a part of our DNA. And this Anzac Day weekend, we'll honour those past and present who served their country in northern Tasmania. 8 grounds across the north will come to life with the sounds of NTFA footy. In the Premier League, Launceston host Scottsdale and Deloraine at home to Longford. Sunday, it's North Lonnie versus South Lonnie. In Div 1, the Red Legs are at home against the Lilydale Demons, and St Pat's are taking on the Hillwood Sharks. Then, the grudge match, OLs against Old Scotch. Sunday, it's Rochalee against the Bridge North Parrots. Div 2, the Suns and Swans are at Westbury, and the Seagulls are at home in Bridport as they take on Perth. Also, Evandale at home taking on the Robins. The NTFA on Anzac Day. It's in our DNA.
Welcome back to Pyengana, where we see at three-quarter time the East Coast Football Club 17-9, 111, leading Evandale Football Club Eagles 1-5-11, 100-point differential. We get underway at the start of the last quarter, and it was Brown v Stoltenberg. Stoltenberg, the big fella, got the tap.
And a free kick to Jordan Loon picked out there. I think Jordan Cousins just laid a tackle after the ball had spilled out.
So Loon goes wide.
There's a touch ball there.
And did we get we get another ball up, cross half back there for Evandale. Some scores from around the grounds there, Darren.
I will grab those.
We will give you a quick update with regards to what's going on. Bannister putting himself in contention for best on ground. We'll talk to Reg about how they service that a little bit later on.
Perfect.
And that's not a bad kick by Haley.
Yeah, so we've got Perth have kicked away on Campbelltown, 66-32, and the other game still a 7-point margin. I would suggest that probably is the three-quarter time score, 62-55, Meander in front of the Uni.
So they've got the close one. Ball now back towards half forward. It's in the hands of Blunt. A couple of long sleeve players. He goes by hand. Out to Newitt. That was Ray Chamberlain, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that don't know. It definitely wasn't us here in the commentary box. Oh, giving away the free kick. I like his effort. The execution, not so great. That's by Blunt. And he gets a bit of a pat on the back there by Jordan Tepper. Unlucky, son.
Oh, no, don't worry about that. Leave that alone. They haven't got
Glorious surrounds here at Pyengana. Just have a look at
you're a legend, yeah.
Bathed in sunshine.
Mitch.
Good mark. Running away with the football was Tuck.
Oh,
Brown off
big
Tuck.
Collide.
Kicks the ball back towards centre forward. No one at home. Mason drops it. Tap further afield there by Goldfinch. He then follows back up, has a bounce. Look at the confidence of the young man. Right, jumps onto that left boot and hits a leading Mason. Yeah, you mentioned before he's been a good linkage player, Darren.
Yeah, just playing in that perfect centre half forward role.
We heard that from here.
Ball kept in by the boys. It comes to Musica. He goes by foot. Not exactly sure where he's headed. Talbot wrapped up in a tackle. Well done there by Anderson. Musica now applies a tackle.
Jesus, get over there.
And he's put that on Callow. And the umpire says that's across the boundary. Look at that hit. Holy dooly. That was a good one. Callow. Brown. And Tuck. The big boys meeting in the middle. Hate to put a piece of spam or ham for that matter. Middle of those two. And what happens here? Because that's come off the ruck, Darren. What's regards to the rules?
I'm just having a look to see. Was there a free kick paid or is it a...
I'll tell you what, boys, we are hiring.
It is.
I'll hang around with some forms.
No. So he's actually recruiting for umpiring as well now.
I was going to say, it depends how good you are.
He does it all.
That's a good plug. Ball in there, I think in the end it was discussed between the boundary umpire and the central umpire.
So it'll be Brown v Mason. Brown wins the tap.
I think we talk about like Ray's involvement here today. Like it's not only we've heard it through
Is that
the
you,
effects mic as
Jacko?
far as talking and educating players and stuff like that, but the experience for some of these young umpires to go out there and umpire with him, would be absolutely invaluable.
Great engagement. Well done by Anderson. Saxon kicks the ball forward. Unfortunately, it's only to the hands of Goldfinch. He uses that beautiful left boot. Ooh, almost a mark.
You offend.
Not quite.
I reckon you're right.
Ball knocks free out to Burt. Burt
Had
good vision. Play on. I think that might have been Callow. Goes further afield, dropping the mark. Was young Murfitt. Unable to cleanly take hold of the football. Musica jumps on top of the Eagles player.
Hey, no way!
Yes, you're right, Geary. I've watched at each break there. Ray's just been a champion out there doing a bit of coaching with those young fellas.
Yep. I think at the three-quarter time huddle, I looked out there, a couple of spectators had wandered out to the middle to have a photo with him. I thought that was pretty special.
He's certainly been generous with that.
Ball in the hands of Marshall. Marshall's kick under pressure. forward. Good contest applied there by Jordan Talbot. So it was a 2-on-1, and he's able to bring the ball to ground, and it rolls over the boundary line, and we're going to get a boundary thrown right in front of the scoreboard.
He's picking it up.
111 plays 11. According to the scoreboard over the far side, it's 106. We'll have to check that with the goal umpires. So it's in the hands now of Mason. Aaron. Watts.
So we're 5 minutes into this quarter and we haven't had a score. So it's just probably, it probably just shows that Evandale's lifted their defensive intensity. You know, as I say, ideally win a quarter, win the quarter. Take something out of the game for next week. Build a bit of momentum.
That's right. A bit like Essendon.
Yes, and I think Essendon were in front earlier today as well, I think. So I should actually... I'll have a look at some AFL scores as well.
Oh, we get the opportunity.
You know, they're doing all right, the boys.
So it's in the hands of Riley. Riley to Stoltenberg. Under pressure. Great tackle applied by Loon. Goes back down, picks the football up. He's picked up by Stoltenberg. The boys had a bit of a wrestle there, Reg.
Three-quarter time.
A little bit of a tussle.
Very high-scoring contest. Gold Coast 101, Essendon 89.
Gee.
So a 12-point margin at three-quarter time, but a very high-scoring contest.
Absolutely. I would have thought that was incorrect disposal there by Stoltenberg. There's a bit of a, how you going, with Luke Tepper.
It's interesting. I had a discussion with a few colleagues during the week, and with this lasso rule now, the boundary line no longer is your friend. So you probably see less boundary throw-ins and more ball transitioning through the corridor or 30 metres in from the boundary. Because basically it goes out. It can be a very quick entry coming back over your head.
Daniel Berry's kick's been chopped off there by Fingal. Comes back, but lands in the hands of Jordan Loon.
Elliot Lockhart.
Hands it off to Lockhart. Further afield.
Gee,
Brown.
he moves like his dad, definitely.
Back to Lockhart. That's a good kick.
Push.
It's a push.
Advantage, play on.
Advantage. So it's in the hands of Newitt. They windmill sort of kick. Not sure what to do with it. Turns inside, there's Mason. Good decision. Tate. That kick, it's going to go to Cousins, who's literally just standing still. Has he run out of petrol tickets there, Reg?
I don't think he thought it was going to come over.
Blunt.
Over the top.
Surely that's holding the football.
Yeah. I think he was calling for it over the top, and when the kick went short, he just stopped.
Yes.
So, Blunt. And went out to Lockhart. Ball's now centre wing position. Good kick. Long towards half forward.
Ethan Goldfinch just reads it
Play
well.
He does. He uses his left boot to transition to the opposite side of the ground.
That's one thing I've just noticed here, Reg. The jumpers that you've got, the Fingal jumper, have they got the collar?
They have.
Dived on it.
Very traditional cut.
It's a very good decision. Well done.
Great decision according to Ray Chamberlain. And receiving the free
Stand!
kick will be Mr. Blunt.
Pay it.
And that's holding the football as well.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
So Burt doesn't get rewarded with a great tackle on Jared Mason. And we will get a ball up. Stoltenberg comes in from nowhere.
Be kind.
Against Berry.
Thank you.
Out to Mason. Stoltenberg overruns the football. Knocked forward there by Tate. By hand it comes out to Talbot. He's gone further wide.
We're not going near that one.
To Watts. Finally from Talbot to Weldon. Weldon inside forward 50. Cousins dives on the Evandale player. Tries to feed out the handball. It comes out and into the hands of the man that plays music. And can you believe it? Has he missed everything?
No, I think it's just snuck in.
Wow, Michael Musica. So it's his second behind. And we are updating the scoreboard. It's 16-11-107. 16-11-107 to 1-5-11. Advantage to the Swans.
Michael kicked that and put immediately his hands to his head. I don't think he's almost missed from the square.
Maybe he should have jumped across his left boot and done the across the body.
Coffee, Kane.
Stoltenberg up against Berry. Oh, it's been a good contest. Is that too high?
High tackle there, Tepper on Blunt.
Yeah, I love the endeavour though. So Blunts have been made to work for it a bit more.
Oh,
And the back end, Reg, of the game, I've noticed a bit of fatigue starting to hit
it
the players. Linford.
certainly looks like it. Skills have dropped off a bit.
Good mark. Just holding his position. Knew it. Kick though, chopped off Burt.
Look, I think he's probably, between him and Tepper, I think they've certainly been the best players for Evandale across the 4 quarters.
Berry. Daniel. Kick, falling away. And it goes into
Goldfinch.
That's the man.
He's got better as the game's gone on too.
Handball by Blunt. Goes wide. Gives it to Tuck. Cousins. Challenges Anderson there for the football. And we're going to get a ball up. Callow at the bottom of the pack.
Have we had a goal? We haven't had a goal kick this quarter, have we?
No, I don't think so.
She's,
So Weldon towards centre half forward. Both teams' players are a bit spent. And Skills just starting to fall by the wayside. Aaron kick out of defence. Weldon looking to set up his player. Applies the bump. Just Linford. And they're going to come away with it. Evandale. Good pressure. Chopping it off though is that man. I always want to say Goldfinger for some reason.
I think every forward entry that Evandale have had this quarter has been cut up by Ethan Goldfinch.
Yep,
pretty much.
There you go. Away they go through Johnston and then back to Anderson. Is that Anderson? No, it looks like Anderson. I can't remember what his name was. Apologies. And we're out to Howe. Howe by hands. Tuck.
Well, is that the smoke coming across from the
I think you're
roast?
right.
I think it might be. That would smell delicious out there.
Absolutely. Sustenance coming, lads. Stoltenberg. Cousins. Good kick. Bannister. Had another 10 metres. Throws it on the boot. Hooked it.
Oh, clear.
And that is one behind. So that's his first blemish for the day. 2
Thanks,
goals,
guys.
1, Reg.
I think that hot day out there is taking its toll.
Certainly is.
I think you're right. A few of them fairly spent.
Plenty of refreshments afterwards.
Good
Play.
Brought to us by those in the north, Bogues Brewery. And I think that's Murfitt.
Oh, clear.
Smart.
Snuck one in.
And that's his 4th goal for the day, first of the 4th term. So he's kicked 4 goals, 3 has Michael Murfitt, opportunistic. Darrin.
Yeah, indeed. Like, he's made the most, and really, other than that second quarter where he banged home 3 behinds, he really could have had a sensational day.
I was going to ask him, so what's the team with that one? If it goes through a sweep, yeah, I love it. You know,
Ball back to the centre now. 1-14, 17-12, 1-14. The East Coast Swans representing Fingal Football Club versus the Evandale Eagles 1-5-11. We are 13 and a half minutes into the final term. Convincing win. Stoltenberg with a massive punch, unable to get his hands on the footy was Musica. I don't think he wanted to bend over. I think he was a bit worried about a hamstring. It comes out to number 16.
you've got
That's
to
Linford.
handball that ball out, mate. What?
But it's chopped off again at half back.
Continue.
Isaac knew it.
I think
Yes.
Ray's commentary there was exactly right. Like, rather than that kick, handball, try and link and get it over that wall.
That's right. Stoltenberg. Goldfinch. Wheels onto his left. Straightens up. That's a good mark.
Musica.
But is there a free kick they're giving? No?
No.
So Musica just read the play so well. What's the tape, Reg, on his nose and ears? Is that for earrings?
On Mars?
Yeah.
I'd say so.
Just to go with the local art he's got on the body. Taking his time. Surely 30 seconds has gone by. Umpire says no. He starts his run up. Look at that. Just picturesque. Here at Pyengana. And he splits the middle. Michael Musica. And he's putting his hand up as being one of the better players. And he's kicked one in the first, one in the third, now one in the fourth for 3 goals to Darrin Geard as they extend the lead out now to 109 points.
I think this was off the back of a delivery by Ethan Goldfinch again. As I say, I think as the game's gone on, across half-back, he's just got better. And so, Reg, definitely a luxury to have him back there.
Sure is. I just love the way he breaks the lines, and his disposal generally is just spot on.
Yeah.
Might start thinking about some of the better players on ground today and those that would be in contention, Darrin, for the best on ground.
Yep.
And we might get Reg to explain what happens with regards to the presentation very shortly as Bannister comes from the centre, has a bounce, steps inside, kicks a bit of a mongrel, coming away with it front and centre. Good position. Having a shot on goal. Goes across the face was Tully Watts.
Please. Thank you.
I think it might was out of bounds on full.
Thank you.
May have been. And the free kick goes to Evandale and it's going to Bo Callow. Tepper, Luke, Variety with the helmet.
Play on. Yo, kick.
He's got the leg sleeve on the right leg. Kick long. Taken away by Mason. Kicks inside. That's chipped off by Linford. He's been more prominent in this second half. Adam Linford.
He started off well, but then sort of went out of it a little bit. But yeah, I think you're right. Stormed home well.
Stoltenberg using the run.
Goldfinch.
Yeah. There's that left boot. Over the top, or running underneath the football was Blunt. Away they go through Callow. Kick though. Not sure where he was going. Lands in the hands of Xavier Murfitt. Ball punched away from Musica. Back towards Murfitt. Burt beats him. Steps around. Feeds the ball back to Berry. Berry's handball goes wide. I wasn't sure where he was going. They move the ball a little bit further forward. It goes across the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw in centre wing position on the far side of the ground. So best on ground today. How's that going to be decided?
Selected by the 2 coaches.
2 coaches. And is it a medal per team or medal?
Just one. Best on ground.
Yep.
Sam Lefevre Memorial.
Fair enough. Looking forward to that. And we might get Darrin very shortly to give us a bit of an idea as to who could be in the running for that. So, by the way, did anyone find out the seafood and wood raffle draws?
Oh, haven't checked. That'll get announced at the end of the game.
Righto. How much was a ticket, by the way?
Too late. You can't buy one now. The draw's happened.
Has the draw happened?
I believe so.
Oh, all right. And free kick. And that's going to go the way of Weldon. Yeah. He spent a bit of time on the interchange, the back end, or the first part of the fourth quarter. Feeds it back to Bannister. Long. Almost a strong mark at the back there to Davey. Ball comes back out towards half forward for the Swans. And that's a great tackle. Is that holding the ball? No, says the umpire.
No prior opportunity.
Well done there by Linford on captain. Haley. Stoltenberg. Away goes Linford now. Kick. Needs to be to the advantage. Not good contest though. Talbot brought it down. Jordan Variety. Ball to ground. It's picked up. Released by Evans. Out to Axton. Wrapped up in a tackle. And away they go. So Fingal through the services of the East Coast Football Club. The Swans showing a bit of a merry dance to the Evandale Eagles. Kick the ball forward. Mopping up though was Davey.
I think if we acknowledge that the best on ground is probably going to come from East Coast, that I'll just reflect on Evandale first.
Yes.
And I think probably they've been extremely well served by Zach Bird and Jordan Tepper. I think they've been their best 2 by a mile. But I've also been impressed by Elliot Lockhart behind the footy. And the young player, Axton, who was just involved in that contest there. I think across the 4 quarters he's been really honest. So I think that's probably been the pick of their their players. And I'll come back to East Coast in a minute.
Free kick to the East Coast.
How long are the quarters, Reg? 25. 25.
Angus Tate, inboard.
See if there's someone that can sway me there in that last 5 minutes.
Go wide through Berry, and his kick has been chopped off by young Murphy.
Murphy X.
Yeah. So let's see if we can put an exclamation mark upon his game today. How old is he again, Rich?
17, I'd say.
Yeah, he would have been turning 17 this year. Yep, yeah.
17 years of age. Well, he's
Straight
got
lines
a bit of a career ahead of him, this young man.
We're running backwards and forwards.
That navy blue looks resplendent.
But good fun to be here, to be honest.
And he draws the kick. And we'll give him one behind. Oh, is it a rush behind?
It's a rush one, that one. Yep.
We'll give it a rush behind. So, 121 plays 11. All advantage to the Swans. Better endeavour and execution by Evandale in the second half. However, they've been outclassed. One of those has been Harrison, who's been one of the classier players on the ground, and that's a strong mark by possibly the classiest player on the ground, Jordan Cousins.
You said young Harrison, so he's out of the 16s from last year. I remember him playing in the rep game last year. Any others out of the 16s from last year playing in the seniors, or a couple were represented in the reserves?
Just those two today. I think 7 have come through.
Yep.
All have the potential to play senior football this year.
Yep.
Cousins, a beautiful kick, but unfortunately, that's gone to the left of the goal post.
Yeah, good, mate. Thanks very much.
And that's his second behind. So he's kicked 1 goal, 2 for today. 122 plays 11. It's 111 points.
Well.
The difference. Advantage to the Swans. We might be saying goodbye to Reg. Thank you very much today, Steve, for being involved and your commitment to representing those clubs that are now defunct down here on the East Coast.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks, Reg.
So Stephen Wally, former president of the East Coast Swans Football Club. Ball in the hands of Haley. He's got some duties to do as the final siren draws closer. Ball runs out of bounds just in front of Tully Watts.
So I think if we reflect on, as we draw to the end of the game, East Coast, I think they're better players. Look, Stoltenberg certainly hasn't been beaten in the ruck, and his four-quarter effort in playing that role has been sensational. Marcus Halley certainly has led from the front as a captain. His clearance work has been exceptional, along with Cousins and through the middle of the ground. Certainly had a lot of it.
Mark's here.
Music has been solid.
He's only knocked it from 20 metres away.
The stoppage. Jared Mason, I've been really impressed with Jared Mason.
Yeah.
And I think Murphy's effort in front of goals, 4 goals, 3, significant forward contribution. And I think Ethan Goldfinch across half back. So
thank you.
I would suggest that I would think it would come out of those.
Good mark taken there by the man you just spoke about.
Murphy.
Michael Murphy. So he's going to be kicking for 5.
Yep.
She's punched it from
So this will be 5 goals, 3.
Without anyone touching it. Wing got it. Pipes, mate.
And he could have 8 straight.
Was. Little less
He could
continue to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Michael Murphy. He's going to enjoy this one. We're into the last 60 seconds of the match.
Kicked it.
And we're going to get the all clear. So that's his fifth, and that's his second in the final term. Only had 3 goals.
700 games, I'm not going to shit on him. That's funny.
They're having a ripping time out there, Darren, the supporter base. Absolutely, we are surrounded by them.
The security of the van.
That's right. And the umpire had to do a little bit of work there.
So there's umpire Simmons there, so probably fitting in as we draw to the end of the game that in his 700th game, signalling the goal there for Michael Murphy.
Fair enough.
And Stoltenberg down to Bannister. Two of the more prominent players. Takes on 1, 2. Has a bounce from outside 50. Bannister puts the exclamation mark on it. And Mr. Simmons. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. 20 goals, 14, 134. The East Coast Swans representing the Fingal Football Club against the Evandale Eagles, 1-5-11. So 123 points the margin here today. Our goal kickers, we'll quickly run through them. I'll do the Eagles first.
I left Bannister out of my best players there. Perhaps he might sneak in as well.
How's it work, Jack?
We'll see very shortly.
What's the go?
Because we'll do a bit of a check-in.
Again. Oh, yeah, fair enough. Oh, well done, mate. Thanks for today. Hey, good job. Yeah? You happy with that?
That's Ray Chamberlain, ladies and gentlemen.
Whooshka.
There he is,
balls.
assisting
Well done.
our junior umpires.
Oh, you're a good man.
Here
Thanks
today.
Mate.
Our goal kickers, as I mentioned, Evandale Eagles. It was one there to Dylan Axton, which it only came in the third term. But their second half today, Darrin, was immeasurably better than the first half. Goal kickers, though, for the East Coast Swans, we've got 5 to Michael Murphy, 3 to Liam McCarroll, and Michael Musica, along with Dakota Bannister. 2 goals to Sam Talbot. And then we have singles, Jordan Cousins, also Jared Mason, Will Stoltenberg and Angus Tate. So that makes up our 20 goals, 14, 134 to the Evandale Eagles, 1-5-11. 123 points the margin here at Pyengana. Better players for both sides. Yeah, and then we'll get your thoughts on who could be our best on ground today. We'll be listening out on field.
I think as I went through, I think Marcus Haley, Jordan Cousins, exceptional out of the middle, and ably fed by Will Stoltenberg in the ruck. Michael Musica at forward, certainly his pressure acts are sensational through the roof. Jared Mason, centre half forward, brilliant. And Ethan Goldfinch, I think, just got better off that half-back flank through that second half. And you've got to mention Murphy to finish with 5 goals is a great effort. And as I say, for Evandale, probably a little bit harder to find those 4-quarter consistent performers, but I thought certainly Tepper and Burt were 2 that certainly can hold their head high with that. And Elliot Lockhart and I thought Dylan Axton were very solid as well. I will say of the game, I thought it was really played in excellent spirit. It was solid, hard footy, but both clubs really cracked in. But as I say, really, the game itself was played in really good spirit.
It certainly has, and you can see the team just getting together there in the middle of the ground. Your tip for best on ground?
Look,
it is hard to pick.
It's hard to pick. Look, if I was going to go anywhere, I'd probably say Stoltenberg. I really just don't think he had his colours lowered in the middle of the ground. I think he really gave them silver service. So I think, you look at the players that actually played well out of the middle were Haley and were Cousins and that, but I think it was all on the back of Stoltenberg giving them first use of the footy. So in saying that, I've picked all those players out. I wouldn't be surprised if a Dakota Bannister could pop up as being the best on ground. So it'd be interesting to see which way the coaches reflect on that.
Absolutely. And I'll go with you with regards to that. I think that's a good pick. Will Stoltenberg, as you mentioned, gave them silver service throughout the course of today. Probably had his colours challenged in that third term, start of the third term. There was no doubt he finished off the game very strongly. A much fitter looking side than Evandale, the East Coast Swans. They've got a good cohort in place for 2026. Looking forward to going back-to-back in 25-26.
It's nice to get that premiership defence, well and truly underway with some solid wins against opposition who probably, would like to think that they are actually challenging or around the mark. So, I think that they'd be certainly really happy. And look, it's a challenge for a club to come down here. It's a unique football environment. So to come down here and take on the East Coast and what is a fairly emotional charged day. You're out there representing a former club that's no longer around. So it can be a challenging environment.
And we're about to get, I think there might be Robert Breen.
That's
East
Buzzer.
Coast.
That's Buzzer, the president.
Yeah. So he's about to, we're going to get him on screen very shortly.
There's Reg. He's left the commentary box and ventured out there straight away.
And there he is, Robert Breen with the cap. So Robert's going to be deliberating and sharing with us all who was the best on ground today. There's no doubt there'll be a few thank yous with regards to wrapping up today's proceedings. It's been fantastic to see the smoke. Just magnificent. I can't wait to
That's
get
going to be terrible. The smell of that meat when we get
it. Oh, jeez. And the throng of people that have come here to Pyengana today.
It's a rare event that we're reflecting on a game of football here, but I'd like to reflect on what Ray Chamberlain actually brought to the day as well.
Yes.
I think was a significant contribution. So, to the football club for getting Ray down here, certainly a fantastic effort.
So to Andrew Moore, thank you very much for supporting that and being the linchpin in order to be able to make sure that Ray was able to get up here, along with Brendan Gale. And they had a great night last night. And as Andrew alluded to, as long as Ray has also alluded to, you're in good hands under with Brendan Gale on the tiller. And I believe he's enjoying some of the East Coast today.
This has been awesome today. Well done.
We'll make our way
downfield.
downfield.
Present the Sam Lefevre medal for best on ground. I'll get Hannah to do that. Thanks, Hannah.
Dakota Bannister.
Well done, Getty.
I told you he would be one from left field that would probably get it, and I probably was him.
Well done, DK. Well done, DK. Good stuff, mate. Awesome. I suppose we've got to give the Pyengana Cup out. Goes to the captains. I think that's Marcus. You want to give us a couple of words, mate? You want to give us a couple of words?
Thanks everyone for coming down today. It's always a big game on our calendar, so we appreciate everyone coming down and showing support and getting around local footy. Thanks to the Evandale boys for making the trip down. And let's just enjoy it, eh? Let's have a few beers.
Thanks, Marcus. That's awesome. Yeah, thanks for Evandale for coming down. It's probably not the result you wanted. It's a bit of a tough one there. I just want to make a special mention, we've already talked about, to Mike Simmons. Well done, Mike. Thanks for that. 700 games. It's ridiculous. And I think Razor might have a word, hopefully. And we'll see what he thinks about the game. What do you reckon, mate?
No, I just want to say thank you very much for everybody who's been up and turned up today, in particular the spirit of today's game. Despite the fact that it got a little bit lopsided on the board, you guys kept competing and the manner in which you played was really cool. So thanks very much for accepting me here today. I loved it. It was great fun and well done. I still cheer for the guys in green. So, yeah, the umps.
Thanks, Razor. Awesome. All right, I think we must have a raffle to draw. Where's the crayfish and stripey and oysters and stuff? Who's got the raffle tickets? They're obviously not ready. We'll do it later. Righto. Thanks, everyone. Awesome.
5 o'clock somewhere.
Oh, and the pork rolls and lamb, we'll think will be ready in about half an hour.
So pork rolls and lamb, Geary.
That sounds good, doesn't it?
That certainly does. Soul of the earth people, and there's definitely going to be soul of the earth with regards to some of the sustenance that people can get down here at Pyengana this evening. I want to say a big thank you to the gold level sponsors from the East Coast Swans. So Advanced Wall and Floor, Blackwell's Floor Standing and Installation, to Kello's Coaches, East Coast Motorcycles, Indulgence, to James Bogue, to the Launceston Chiropractic, Toyota, Lion, St Helens Mitre 10, St Helens Glass and Aluminium, Thomas Wolfe Energy, Launceston Garden and Law, and View Real Estate in St Helens. The junior apparel sponsors that sorted out earlier the games today: Barber Bobcat and Excavations, Bendigo Bank, Kello's Coaches, East Coast Skips Waste Removal, Fiddler and Ford, Hillcrest Tourist and Mini Market, Mining and Energy Union Tasmania, Myrtle Flats Dairies Property Limited, Tascoat Joinery, St Helens Glass and Aluminium, and Scamander Beach Resort. Without you, there is no football that can be played down here on the East Coast. So thank you for your sponsorship of our junior players, as well as those that are representing the East Coast Swans at the reserve and senior level. Our game day sponsors today, a big thank you to Blooms the Chemist, to Bendigo Community Bank in St Helens, St Mary's. Big thank you also to the Tasmanian Government, along with the Flying Colour Group, the Bay of Fires, IGA, for your support. And Mazda, Launceston, and 80 Hobart Road, Kings Meadows, Tasmania. So if you're looking for a Mazda BT50, then pop in to in Kings Meadows there, Hobart Road and Kings Meadows. Talking about Mazda BT50 Div 2 senior men's scores, how do we go with regards to the final scores, Giddy?
Yeah, so it looks like so Perth have had a fairly comfortable win, 119 over Campbelltown 44. I think that was a final score. And the other match, which I also think is a final score, Uni Mowbray have stormed home and have won by 8 points over Meander Valley. So a very, no doubt, jubilant Uni there to get a win.
Absolutely. So 8 points the difference there at the game between Uni Mowbray and Meander Valley Suns. Well, on behalf of Duff TV and AFL Tasmania, East Coast Swans Football Club, we want to thank you for joining us on the live stream here from Pyengana. Darrin, thanks for your contribution today.
Thanks, Xavier. It's been an absolute pleasure. Love the day.
And also to Martin and Luke, who have been operating behind the scenes. Superb effort by you two. Always fantastic with regards to the production that you put together. We hope that you've enjoyed it. Have a look at that beautiful view there of the Pyengana Football Oval from down here on the East Coast. If you get the opportunity in 2027, strongly encourage you to come along and enjoy all the fantastic fare that this region has to offer. On behalf of us all, Xavier Williams signing out. Thank you very much for joining us on the live stream.
Since 1886, the NTFA has been a part of our DNA. And this Anzac Day weekend, we'll honour those past and present who've served their country in northern Tasmania. 8 grounds across the north will come to life with the sounds of NTFA footy. In the Premier League, Launceston host Scottsdale and Deloraine at home to Longford. Sunday, it's North Lonnie versus South Lonnie. In Div 1, the Red Legs are at home against the Lilydale Demons, and St Pat's are taking on the Hillwood Sharks. Then, the grudge match, Owells against Old Scotch. Sunday, it's Rocherlee against the Bridgenorth Parrots. Div 2, the Suns and Swans are at Westbury, and the Seagulls are at home in Bridport as they take on Perth. Also, Evandale at home taking on the Robins. The NTFA on Anzac Day. It's in our DNA.